What's up, everybody? This is the Palmer Squares.
And you're listening to the Average AF podcast.
This is Dan Cummins, and you're listening to the Average as Fuck podcast.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Catalyst Bars, and you're listening to the Average AF podcast. Let's get it.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 58 of the Average AF podcast. I am Adam McRoy. I've realized I never introduced myself.
You never have.
Nuh-uh.
Hey, well, shoot, I'm Ryan Baker.
Right.
We doing intros now.
Yeah. Well, I always introduce you.
Yeah, you do.
I never say my own name.
Oh, all right.
It used to be in the intro
Yeah.
because we used to have a voiceover that says like the Average AF podcast with Steve and Adam at the time.
I remember that.
It had our names in the beginning, so I was like, I don't need to introduce myself because it's right there.
Does it in the end? It does it in the beginning.
Right, but we've had a new intro for like probably a month and a half now that doesn't say our name, and I've never introduced myself.
So you just thought you'd start now?
Yeah, so 58 episodes in. What's up, guys? I'm Adam.
Welcome aboard, Adam.
Right. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out another episode here. I will start the episode by saying if you notice anything different, let us know. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of a little scavenger hunt. Hopefully, it's actually a little more obvious than not.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We'll leave it at that. But
I got it.
also, I wanted to thank you guys because we actually just passed 7,500 total streams.
Yeah, audio and YouTube. So
Yes. Yeah, I think audio we had like 5,400 basically, and then YouTube we had 2,100. And we've only been on YouTube since episode 40. Wow, which is like fucking like 3 or 4 months now at this point. Damn. And then
keep it going.
right, and then episode 1 through 39 is audio. But yeah, so we just passed 7,500 streams. Thank you guys. The growth of the channel and the podcast itself is just
It's getting there.
You know, I don't want to say it's exponential, but it's definitely, you know, it's gaining some steam. We'll say that.
Absolutely.
And then we did want to remind you guys we are doing the merch giveaway still.
That's right.
Anybody that signs up for the Patreon will be automatically entered.
And we are doing that 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, we have decided to do that 2 weeks from today, which will be September 13th.
That is correct.
With
The live stream.
Yep, we're gonna go live. We've never gone live before, so we're gonna test some things out. Hopefully we don't fuck it up, but we probably will.
Hey, you live and learn, right? You live and learn.
Might be a couple tests here and there before that, so
We gonna make it work. Though.
yeah. But yeah, so if you sign up for the Patreon, you're automatically entered into the merch giveaway. You can get any piece of merch from our merch store.
Customized.
Yep, fully customizable. You can, you know, have words or phrases or colors or whatever logo you want on a hoodie, a t-shirt, whatever you want. We'll make it for you. And our original goal was $175 on the Patreon. We've gained, I think, 4 new members, one of them being a Patreon producer.
Okay.
So shout out to Sarah. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
But we did also lose another patron, which is perfectly fine. But we've realized 175 is probably going to take a little while.
Yeah.
And we don't want you guys to wait because, you know.
We don't want to wait.
Right. Why would you do a giveaway like 3 months later? You
Right.
know what I mean? That's just no fun. Nobody likes that. So we've decided to do it on the 13th of September. If you sign up before then, obviously you're going to be entered and all that kind of stuff. But even if we don't hit 175 before then, it's going to be on the 13th, probably around 7 o'clock, give or take.
Yeah. We're being optimistic, though.
Yeah. Between 7 and 8, we'll say that.
Yep.
We'll say that. So, yeah, definitely look out for that. But how's your week been? How's your day been?
Dude,
actually,
Sucks.
What's up?
So the week's been long. The last 2 days of work, Thursday and Friday, I think I worked over 12 hours. each day.
You worked over 12 hours?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was there at 1:30 and left at like 1:45, almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So,
Sucked.
yeah. Damn.
Yeah, so I'm like running on fumes,
Mm-hmm.
which is not good around my son
Right.
because he's never tired
Right.
ever.
Right.
And then today, I just chilled yesterday, and today I went mowing, which is usually nice. You know, it's
Right.
my alone time, and I get to hang out by myself.
A little bit of extra cash in the pocket.
Freaking sucked, dude.
Tell us about it.
So, okay, at the one place I mow, my grandpa's double, there's been underground bees nests, right? So I know what to look for.
I've never even heard of that.
They're horrible. And let alone, first off, if you come around it, you probably already pissed them off. But if you run over them with a mower,
Right.
they're really pissed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Push mower? Riding mower?
Push.
Oh, even worse.
I don't know, dude, because if you're on that riding mower and getting attacked.
Right. Well, I was going to say you could put it in high speed, but like it doesn't go as quick as you running. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely slower than a bee, too.
Right.
But, dude,
That's
so
fair.
I'm mowing and I see it because, again, I know what to look for.
Right.
It's happened like 3 years ago. I go past it and I walk around it. I'm like, all right, I'm good. So I'm just keeping away from, when I'm doing the next strips of grass there. And like 3 strips later, dude, I feel something on my leg right below my knee. And I go, oh shit, I got stung.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, ow. I just like shake it off. It starts chasing me, dude. Like
Damn.
the whole squad does. So I have to stop the mower. I'm like running and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And for some odd reason, I had a yellow shirt on.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, they're probably attracted to yellow. So I'm like ripping the shirt off, swatting them at the bees and everything. Like, dude, get away from me.
Damn.
And I'm like, all right, good. I think I'm all right. I'm all right. So I get back mowing. I walk around that spot, like didn't even finish it. I'm like, I don't even care right now. Go finish the rest of the yard. I'm almost done. I hit another one
Oh, shit.
near the end, right below my calf.
Oh, my God.
It hurt.
So you got stung 2 times in how long? Like,
Less than 30 minutes.
I was going to say about a half hour.
Yeah, less than 30 minutes.
Damn.
So I'm like, all right, dude, I'm done. Done mowing, right? Can't get any worse. Done. Go get the kiddos, chill with my parents for a little bit, and then we go to my daughter's soccer thing. Just sitting there, watching her play, because they're doing a scrimmage, right?
Right.
I get freaking stung by a bee on the arm, dude. 3 times in one
Damn.
day. 3 bee stings.
Damn.
I was just sitting there. I don't know what the hell. I
Were you
didn't-
still wearing yellow?
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
No, I must have just pissed them off, and they
Damn.
just communicated that.
How many
quick.
people were around you?
Well, social distancing and everything, so I wasn't like super close to anybody.
Right.
But if I was and social distancing wasn't in place, somebody would have gotten punched.
Oh, no.
Dude, I swatted my arm back so far.
I just meant like how many people were around you for that bee to choose you.
Oh, yeah, true that. I mean, it could have gotten anybody, and there was a lot of parents there.
Right.
But dude, right in the arm, like you can't really see it anymore. It's
red.
It's still red.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Well, yeah.
Dude, like, it doesn't matter how many times you've been stung in your life,
Oh, yeah, they suck.
how old you are, they freaking suck.
Dude, yeah. Okay, so that blows. You got stung 3 times on the same side of your body.
Yes. My right leg and right arm.
Yep, twice on the leg, once on the arm. My worst ever bee sting, I was like probably 17, maybe 18. I was still living at my parents. And I was probably 17 because I had a goatee.
Oh,
Right? I had a little goatee.
I don't think I like where this is
Yeah,
going.
I had a goatee, right? No beard yet.
Okay.
Had a solid goatee, though, on that 2009 vibe.
Get it.
And it was whatever the fucking thick-ass bees are. Is that a bumblebee?
I think so, yeah.
A fucking thick motherfucker. We saw him. We're like, all right, we're going to stay away, right? And then I don't know if I got too close or what, but I just hear buzzing, and I can't find it. Like, I'm like, where the fuck is it?
Oh.
And then I feel it in my goatee, and it just, This fucking stings like right the fuck in my chin.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
hurt so bad because I couldn't get it out.
Right.
It was like this thick.
You got
of a
trapped in
goatee.
the jungle.
Yeah, and I was like, God, fuck. Yeah. It was like the worst thing of all time. But I don't think I've gotten stung since then, to be honest.
Dude, it's the worst. After like
It
if you
is.
go a long period of time without getting stung,
Right.
it sucks.
Right.
Because you're sitting there like I was almost in tears. I'm not gonna lie. The first time, because I'm like, oh my god, like it's just a sharp ass pain
Right.
down my leg, and then the next one was a sharp ass pain up my leg.
Oh no. Imagine if bees were human size.
Oh, dude, screw that.
Imagine if bees were cat size.
Screw that. Like straight up,
We hate them and they're like 2 inches.
dude. I'd have to get a lift kit on my truck. I'd run them all over.
Oh yeah.
I'd take it straight off road.
Okay. I like it. I
Yep.
like it.
No hesitation.
Speaking of running over, I hit like it was already dead, but I hit a skunk like 3 days ago in my car, directly over the center of it. Yeah, because I was, distracted when I was driving. I'm like, I was distracted, and I was like looking around and stuff. And it's nighttime; it's like 9 o'clock or something. And I'm just cruising, and I look up. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "No!" And it just. Because I had the AC on, and it
you
was
could
just
reek in the car.
I just rolled all the windows up, like turned everything off. Was like, oh no,
that's the worst.
and then probably a half hour later, I went to Steve's, and he's like, "Man, it smells a little strong out here," and I was like, "That's my tire."
Yeah.
I was like, "I guarantee I have a shred of skunk on my tire."
At least you weren't eating deviled eggs.
Oh my god.
That'd have just been horrible.
Yeah, that would have been. Well, I don't know, man. Today's got some pretty solid farts. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Had some extra spicy tacos.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, so.
But to your point with the skunk, it wasn't a skunk, but I don't know if it. I think it was my mom that hit it. Was a hit like a squirrel or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, a squirrel, and it got stuck in like the undercarriage of the car. Dude, it was the worst smell I've ever. I would have
Did
rather
she
ran
know
over.
right away,
Yeah.
or
No, not right away. She
Right.
hit it, but didn't know it got stuck until
Right.
like after a couple of days.
oh
Exactly.
no,
Dude, she made
parking in like a garage and shit. Or
she
something.
made me take it to the car wash to get that thing out. Oh, bro,
Oh,
it was the worst. Like
no way.
riding around with Febreze in your car because it
Like I
stinks that
literally
bad.
just got the chills. Like
Oh.
I've never hit anything alive, but I did. This was also probably about 10 years ago. I'm cruising on a back road in Belleville, and there's a truck in front of me, and I see a squirrel run out in front of the truck. I'm like, God dang, like, don't do it, man. The front tire,
Don't do it, squirrel.
the front tire must have missed him, but that back tire got him.
Okay.
So what I see is a squirrel attached to the back tire and then shot straight the fuck up into the air. And I had a moonroof at the time, and I literally looked up and saw the squirrel for like a half second because we're going like 40 or something.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a flying squirrel, I guess. A super lame joke, but I had to say it. I couldn't not say it. I'm a dad. Don't judge me.
Oh my gosh. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Anything else you want to talk about as far as your week or
No, dude, I'm just
your
tired.
injuries
I'm tired and
and upset?
yes.
You feel slighted.
Dude, I feel like I completely lost. Like Baker 0, Bees 3.
You
Like,
lost today, hardcore. You got shut out, son. There was a hat
At
trick.
least it was freaking nice out to mow. Let me end on a positive.
I was gonna say you're a much more positive guy than
I gotta
me.
end on a positive shit.
I like it. I like it.
God.
For me, man, my week was all right. Work Monday was actually, I think, the first week I was back
Yeah.
to work. Right. It was whatever. There's a lot of stuff that didn't get done that was supposed to. But
Typical first day back.
yeah, but it's whatever. Got that all handled Monday and into Tuesday because there was kind of a lot, plus everything else incoming.
Yeah.
Wednesday was about a normal day. Thursday and Friday were super chill, like super slow.
Oh, that's fun.
It's cool, man, but like working from home, like it sucks.
I couldn't do it.
It kind of sucks to not have shit to do because like obviously I love like podcasts and stuff like that. You can only watch so many podcasts in a day, like, and so much YouTube and stuff. But yeah, Thursday, Friday were all right. Friday night I went and did my sleep study to see if they can figure out you know, why I'm not sleeping worth shit for the last decade. It was definitely an interesting experience. For those of you guys who don't know, basically they hook a ton of fucking wires up to you. I had like 2 or 3 on each of my legs. I had like, I think 4, 2 on the front of my chest, 2 on the back. And then I think like 2 on my cheeks, 2 on like my neck right here.
Jeez.
And then like a ton, just not a ton, but probably like 6 or 7 around my head. And then they put a little like cloth type net on you, like on the top to keep everything in place. So it was weird. It wasn't as uncomfortable as I thought it was going to be, honestly. Wasn't too terrible. I got there at 9:30. That's when I was supposed to get there. You know, COVID and stuff, you have to wait and only one person can go back at a time and yada, yada, yada. Had to register and blah, blah, blah. But, and then obviously they had to hook me up with a lot of shit.
Right.
They also said, which I guess is expected, and I don't care. It was just kind of caught off guard. She was like, as you can tell, which I haven't noticed yet because I'm just not observant, I guess. But she's like, as you can tell, there's cameras all around the room. And I look up and there's like fucking 10 cameras.
Oh my God.
All around the room. And she's like, so I need you to sign this consent form. Because, and it makes sense, but she's like, you know, we want to make sure to watch the video too, to make sure we can properly diagnose you. Like,
right. I mean, that makes sense.
Right. It does. So, you know, I have no problem with it. But it was funny because I didn't notice yet. I was in there for like 20 minutes at that point.
And had no idea.
I just wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the TV or my phone or, you know, whatever, trying to get comfortable. And she's like, as you've noticed. And I'm like, I didn't fucking notice.
Now I do.
Right.
Thank you.
But it's whatever. And the room was not bad. I mean, it was like a souped up hospital room.
Yeah.
It had an actual bed, you know.
Which is good.
Right. Real blankets and, you know, comfy blankets.
Real.
Yeah.
Oh, what
and,
the hell you did? The hospital shit fake?
Yeah, it is. You know hospital blankets.
Oh, I know.
But it was pretty comfy, you know, with all that said.
I got you.
Check out that mute button sign.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad. She finally left my room at like 11:30. It sounds like I'm talking about a hooker now. She finally left my room at about 11:30. Or no, it was 11. It was right before 11.
Right before curfew.
Yeah, and I watched some TV and stuff, and I was actually pretty tired too. I don't know why, but I was actually really tired. So I actually fell asleep about 11:30. Fell asleep pretty quick. Yeah, which is very early for me. And then I wake up at 1 and I'm like, hey, you know, I got to go to the restroom. They got to, you know, everything's basically on one single connector.
Yeah.
So they just unplug you real quick. Sounds like the Matrix. They just unplug you real quick. I go to the restroom, come back. It's all good.
Plug you back in.
Right. But that was at 1. And after that, I basically like rolled around and maybe drifted off here and there, you know, but I got an hour and a half of sleep right there. Maybe some drifting off here and there.
Yeah.
And then they came and woke me up at 5:30. I was already awake, but it was at 5:30, which they said it would be 5:30.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what time Danielle got woke up from hers.
And so I'm basically the potential sleep I could get from 11:30 to 5:30, 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
It's a max, right? From that. She comes in, I'm like, okay, so you were able to see like all the readings and stuff live, right? She's like, yeah. And I said, well, how long did I actually sleep? She's like, well, I can't tell you that quite yet because there's like a survey thing to see how you felt about it.
Okay.
and see how long you think you slept and stuff. So I'm like, cool, whatever. Fill that out, get all my shit, get ready to go. And then she's walking me out, and she asks again now. She's like, so how long do you think you slept? And I said, probably about 2.5 hours, trying to give a little leeway because I know I got that hour and a half.
So you wanted to go a little bit more?
Yeah, and I probably drifted off here and there and stuff, but I'm like probably about 2.5 hours or so. And she goes, it was actually closer to like 4.5. And I was like,
What?
I was like, bitch, no, it wasn't. Like, I was awake the whole fucking time. Like,
So you think?
which I didn't say that, obviously, but I was like, really? Like, I didn't think that. And she says, I'll be clear here. She's the professional, or she was like the nurse. She wasn't the doctor, right? But she was the nurse that I worked with. She was the only person I saw for the whole experience. But again, she's the professional. This is what she does for a living. However, I kind of want to call bullshit, but I'm not, but I am, but I'm not. Okay? Because she said you slept about 4.5 hours. I said, oh, really? Like, it definitely didn't seem like that. Which, to preface this, I usually get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night.
Okay.
So when I wake up, I kind of know how I'm going to feel. And I felt way more fucking tired. So I'm like 2.5 hours is probably right, because I don't feel refreshed at all. I feel more tired than I usually do when I wake up. And she goes, yeah, you slept about 4.5 hours. I said, oh, really? It just didn't seem like that. And she said, yeah, sometimes when you're lightly asleep, you don't even know you're asleep. Yeah. And I was like, okay. But yeah, I'm like, what? Like,
yeah,
I think I was just extremely comfortable and you thought I was asleep.
that could be it.
Because, like, I did lay there.
Because a lot of it, the way that they can tell that you're asleep and stuff is your heart rate.
Probably.
So
I had
if you can get
monitor on and stuff.
Yeah, so if you can get like super comfortable, super relaxed, like your body may be asleep, like getting the rest that it needs, but I don't think that mentally you're asleep.
But yeah, I was like, the fuck? Like, I didn't argue with her about the 4.5, which I think is still not accurate, but whatever. That's what you saw. Okay, you're not to be shitty, like, you're not the doctor. Again, this is what she does for a living. She probably knows what she's talking about. But then, yeah, she's like, sometimes when you're really lightly asleep, you don't even know you're asleep. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right.
If I know, or if I don't think I'm asleep, if I'm actively thinking I'm not asleep right now, I'm probably not asleep. Because I don't think I can think that I'm not asleep if I'm asleep.
Hey, who knows?
Like, I just have no words for it. Again, she's a professional. I'm an idiot.
I just use my Fitbit.
Well, that was the thing, too. Like, I used to wear my Fitbit all the time. I think I sold it a while ago. But yeah, it would tell me I got about 3 hours of sleep with, like, 20 minutes of REM sleep or something, which is horrible. Because you're supposed to get REM sleep. Like, that's how you recover. Yeah, but
if you're only sleeping 2 hours.
Right.
20 minutes isn't too bad.
Right. But you're supposed to sleep 8 hours with, like, 4 hours of REM sleep or something like that. Yeah, and I get, like, 15, 20 minutes a night, which is why my body's falling apart.
Yeah, it could be.
But whatever. In the end, the sleep study wasn't, like, a bad experience at all. It was fine. She was fine. She was nice.
When do you get your results back?
Well, she said I should hear back within a week or two, if not to call in. But obviously they're not very busy right now. And she said the doctor's pretty quick at analyzing everything. So probably a week or so.
Diagnosing you.
Yeah. And they said I might have to come back for a second one. If they think I have sleep apnea, which I probably do, I'll have to come back again. And they'll fit me for a mask and actually try a night with the CPAP machine, see how that does. That's kind of the angle that we're going towards. Right. That's what everybody thinks, which is fair. But, yeah, so the sleep study in and of itself, it wasn't bad at all. But it just threw me off. That little last, like,
The last comment.
That was one of the last sentences she said to me, and it just fucking stuck with me. I'm like, ugh. Yeah. But other than that, week's been fine. Today, there was actually a Seether concert. They did a live stream concert,
Okay.
which was kind of cool. It was like a $20 ticket, but that's, Harper's mom's favorite band. And she's a big concert goer. Obviously, she hasn't gone to any this year because of Corona.
Thank you, COVID.
Right. So, and she didn't have the money for a ticket, so I bought her a ticket. And we were over there watching the Seether concert.
Okay.
With Harper and stuff. Harper loves Seether too, which is why she was wild in the fucking videos that you saw.
That makes sense.
There's a video of my daughter, who's 2 years old, jumping from the couch to the floor onto
A body pillow.
yeah, like big pillows and blankets, which sounds on the surface not bad. She's launching.
Dude, she was, yeah.
She's jumping. And the reason we put the pillows down is because she was doing it before the pillows were down.
Just jumping from the
Yeah.
couch to the floor?
Right. we were catching her.
Oh,
But,
okay. God.
She looked at me and I was like, don't do it. And she
Did it?
she went to jump. Yeah. And I caught her real quick. Before she even left, I had my arms up, if she did or whatever. And I caught her right away and then did that a couple times. And then she looked at me and I set my arms up ready to catch her. And she started pushing my arms away. And she's like, no. And I was like, okay.
I got this. I got this.
And I was still obviously going to catch her. But I was like, okay, well, I want to see if she jumps without knowing that I'm going to catch her. And she fucking jumped as high as she could. And I was like, nope. And then she just wouldn't stop doing it after a while. So we threw the pillows down. She had some fun for a minute.
Don't ever let her watch American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, my God. I don't know where she gets it from.
Because
man.
my son uses every bit of furniture
Yeah.
as a Ninja Warrior playground.
Actually, I know where she gets it from. I was the same way as a kid.
Yeah.
But
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Kids are crazy.
Dude, it's definitely insane. Yeah. And then actually, real quick before we go to our ad break, I wanted to bring something up to you because it kind of has to do with that.
Oh, shit.
It's just something I noticed today, and it's not relevant to anything. It doesn't fucking matter, but it's just interesting, okay? So if you see an advertisement for something on a TV, what do you call that?
I don't see advertisements on TV.
Well, if you did,
That's
during the Super Bowl, what are
like
those?
a commercial.
It's a commercial, right?
Yeah, commercial.
But what are they called if you see them on YouTube?
A commercial?
No.
Advertisement.
Yeah, they're called an ad.
Advertisement.
Well, right. But, why does it matter? Why do we call one an ad and one a commercial? They're the same thing. They're literally the same thing. They're both commercials. Why do we call them different things?
Commercials may be longer.
No. YouTube has fucking hour-long ads now.
No, some of those ads are like movies.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But-
Like you can watch the whole freaking Lego movie.
Right. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
The
But
hell?
But yeah, it's just something I noticed. It doesn't matter, but on
you
YouTube,
and you and your little pet peeves.
it doesn't even bother
Yeah,
me.
it's a little one.
I'm just consistency, people. But no, it doesn't bother me. The only reason I think we call them on YouTube ads is because there's the button on there that says skip ads,
Yeah.
and you can skip the ad.
You can't skip a commercial.
But they're fucking commercials. Why do we not call them?
How do you know
commercials?
that commercials weren't technically done after ads? So commercials should be called ads.
Well, they're all ads.
Yeah, or are they all commercials?
So YouTube technically has the technical name.
Yeah, see? Boom.
But why on TV do we call them commercials?
Why'd they
then?
change it?
They didn't change it.
They could have. They changed it from ads to commercials.
It's a commercial advertisement. But why is it a commercial?
Because they didn't want to
Because
put
it's
commercial
for commerce? I don't know. That's fucking stupid.
No.
I'm just
Nice
trying to
try.
make sense of it. I don't fucking know.
We'll never make sense of it.
Never. All right, guys, a little break in the action here to shout out our Patreon producers and our first small business sponsor.
Yes.
We'll start with the producers. Big shout out to Taylor, Tom, Sarah now, who's a new Patreon producer. So shout out to you, Sarah, Steve, Nate, and the Teach a Dummy podcast. So we are up to 7, I believe, 6 Patreon producers. So big shout out to them. They are, extremely important.
Absolutely.
To the Patreon. And with your producer status, just so you guys know, if you forgot, you do have a guaranteed guest spot with that as well.
So let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We can do it over the phone if it has to be. Obviously, in person's always better.
Always better,
especially for the video. We could try to Zoom it.
Try.
Yeah, I don't know how all that works. So we'll see.
Neither.
We'll see. But yeah, shout out to them. And the Teach a Dummy podcast. Please, guys, go listen to them. I just listened to their 2 recent episodes, and they're fucking hilarious. I will say I didn't realize BJ, which is one of the hosts, was big into skateboarding. So that's kind of cool because that was a big pastime for myself, too. So we bonded over that, which he doesn't know that, but maybe he'll listen to this. But I know Tim will, so shout out to them.
Absolutely.
And then our small business sponsor, Brubaker Photography.
Brubaker Photography.
How do you spell it?
Brubaker
You struggled.
Photography.
You struggled.
No, I just wanted to put the emphasis in there.
Okay, all right. But yes, give them a follow on Facebook. Again, BRUBAKER. The URL for them is Brubaker Photography 1. So it's facebook.com/Brubaker Photography 1.
And now you struggle.
Struggling.
Like them, share them, go to the community page, invite your friends.
Yep.
All of it.
All that. Definitely, as always, tell them we sent you. Let them know. But yeah, big shout out to them. They're our first ever small business sponsor. And it definitely goes a long way, on the Patreon. So
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thank
you all.
Yeah, Brubaker Photography and all our Patreon producers. And back to the action. All right, and then I did want to bring up one thing too. I didn't realize, first of all, that I never showed you Gary V.
You failed.
I fucking failed because I know on the podcast, and people will probably hate hearing it at this point, me and Steve, because Steve likes him too, we've probably talked about Gary V in our 58 episodes now, probably a good 15 to 20 times.
But you forgot about your boy.
That might
forgot
be a
about
lot.
your boy.
That might be a lot, but at least 10 times, I would say. 10 to 15 at least. But, yeah, Gary V is basically just an entrepreneur, hustler, basically. Not a hustler, but like all about working hard and being patient. That's his big thing. Stay patient, because eventually whatever you're doing will click. It might take 5 years, but like honestly, we are a little over a year into the podcast, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think like 13 months now or something. I don't know. But even if this takes another 4 years to blow up,
Just got to keep trying.
I mean, in 4 years, I'm going to be 32.
Yeah, and you're still a young pup.
And how old are you going to be? Like 34? 35? Okay. I mean, but that's still super young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if we put in 5 years of work, if it takes that long, we're still going to be mid-30s.
Yeah.
And then be fucking rich or whatever.
Hey, you got to look at the long run, man. That's how I always look at it.
Well, the other thing, too, with that, it's actually, Russ, right? The musician. Mm-hmm. He always
You have talked about him to me.
Yeah, okay, good. But he kind of preaches along the same lines as far as music goes. He's like, you don't want to be a one-hit wonder.
Right.
Because if you, pop off with one huge song, people are going to be like, this is dope. What else does he have?
And you only expect that same, yeah.
And you only have 2 or 3 other songs. The cool thing with Russ is he popped off and people are like, what else does he have? And he has fucking like 9 other albums.
He's good.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
And most of his shit's good. You know what I mean? So it's very key to, once you get that break, to have a backlog of also good content so people can go see it and stuff. So that's a big thing. That's something that he preaches just kind of as a background. But I wanted to bring this video to your attention just to kind of see what your thoughts of it are. It's only like a 30-second clip, but just to give some background into this clip itself, this guy calls in to the show and asks, you know, what do I do if I feel burnt out, right? Because, you know, I'm supposed to be hustling every day and things like that, like, you know, not miss a day and all that kind of stuff. And what do we do if I feel burnt out? And the female on the show at the time, she's a guest, I'm not sure who she was, but she, you know, was like saying the same thing, like, you know, she always took like one vacation a year and got drunk as fuck and ate a lot of food, and that was her break, right? And then came back and started working her ass off
She
again.
was definitely getting away from reality.
Right. But she said that didn't really end up working
Hell no.
in the long run because, you know, it's just a short time period. So she needed to kind of reevaluate self-care, right? And then she goes into explaining that a little more, and Gary goes on to say, like, I love what you're saying. And the reason you're feeling burnt out is because you're burnt out more or less on people's judgment, right? You feel like you need to do something because other people are judging you,
Yeah.
and things like that. So you just need to reevaluate self-care and
Absolutely.
things like that.
It's definitely all about where you focus your energy at.
Right.
I mean, now that you've said that, I've probably come to the conclusion that's why I'm so like frustrated and just irritated this whole entire week, just because I'm focusing my energy on shit I really don't need to be.
Right. Especially other people's opinions.
Yeah, which is what I was focusing my shit on.
Right. Okay.
So,
And which I've always mentioned it too, and I mean I've kind of been this way for a while prior to knowing about Gary Vee, but he says, you know, you need to not care about anybody's opinion except your own, like nobody's.
yeah.
And you know, ever since we've known each other, that's basically been what I've preached for the
absolutely.
most part. Even again before I knew him, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this little clip.
Let's do it.
So he's talking about people using that vacation as an escape, right?
Okay.
99% of people just came back from summer vacation, and the first fucking day back, all the things that they thought they got went in the garbage by 9:48 p.m.
No, of course.
You know, and so, like, I really, really, really think that it is a much more macro thing. This comes down to judgment. If there was nobody else on earth, everybody would be happy.
Amen.
I'm telling you, this is a judgment game. This is you worried about what people are going to think. Once I got to the final pieces of not even caring what my own parents thought, fully, it completely unlocked for me, and I was already ridiculously happy.
So he's basically saying, you know, to get pure happiness, you need to not focus on anybody else's opinion, even your parents.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's tough. I value people's opinion. I've never been the type. I can't say never. I mean, I guess when I was younger, I probably got influenced a lot by other people's opinions. But, I mean, I appreciate other people's opinions just because it's going to give me a different perspective
Right.
on things. But it's never going to push me to make a decision.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
always going to make the decision I want to, and it'll be my choice to make that.
Right.
I don't give a shit how that impacts anybody else. I'm going to do what I think is best.
Right.
And thank you for your feedback,
Right.
but don't get fucking salty when I don't do what you
Right.
just told me to do.
Right. And I think I probably could have guessed that for you, to be honest, just because of how you live your life, and you're generally a happy person. I don't think I've ever really seen you like super upset. You know, I think
I've come over on a couple rants.
well, maybe, but
Yeah.
like, you know, you're heated in the moment, but you're still sane as far as
Yeah.
thoughts.
And I know where to take my frustration out.
Right.
Like, bro, I just need to come over and vent.
Right. And that's cool. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that's super important as far as like judgment. So like we talked about people's opinions, obviously, you know, that's what we just spoke about. What do you think about people's judgment? What do you think about, it's similar, but
Yeah, I mean, people are going to judge. It's just what it is.
right.
Is it right? Not really. I mean, I've judged before, and then I got to know somebody, and
Right.
completely different. So it's kind of like, don't judge a book by its cover,
Right.
type of thing. But to your point, it kind of is the same thing. You just can't let whatever the hell they're talking about or judging you on influence you and impact you. I don't know.
Well, I definitely want to add to that, but like one thing that's recently come up as far as judgment is, like Chadwick Boseman,
Mm-hmm.
he just died, right?
Yeah.
Of, I think, colon cancer. And he had it for like 4 years.
Right.
And people
I had
didn't know that.
no idea.
Yeah, nobody knew it. But everybody, I guess, was online like trolling him. Like, are you a drug addict? Like, why are you getting so skinny?
Right.
And like all this stuff.
dude.
But nobody knew. And it comes out he's had cancer for 4 years. So
Right.
people are judging the shit out of him.
And probably now feeling like a complete asshole.
Right. And not knowing the full story. But yeah, as far as judgments for me, man, like anybody that knows me knows I don't give a shit about
Right.
anybody's judgments or opinions or anything like that. I'm similar in the sense of opinions to what you said, but a little different in the sense of like, I do my best to not ask people's opinions too much
I don't ever ask.
about major things, right? And it's because I don't want to be influenced. I want to. Now, if it's like your opinion on this camera versus this camera,
Right.
Like anything like factual based or things like that, like, I'll ask opinions on that. But like, as far as something that like might change my life or something that'll affect me in a major way,
Yeah.
I generally don't ask. And it's not because I don't value other people's opinions.
You just don't want to be clouded.
Yeah, I don't want to be clouded. I want to come to the conclusion on my own.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if it's a fucked up one, I blame myself.
Yeah, because, dude, I've always been a fan of making mistakes.
Right.
And people, whenever I told them that, they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's so important.
It is, though. It is, because the only way that you're ever going to learn is if you physically make
Right.
them and you find out how to fix what you messed up. Like,
Right.
point blank, period. So, I mean, I'm all about fucking up.
Right.
Like, 'cause let me mess up so I can fix it.
Well, it's a intuition quote. Who's a rapper, but he says, damn, I lost it now. But he says, fail hard and fail fast, knowing that you tried.
Yeah.
Like, just do whatever you can, as much as you can, as in it as you can, emotionally and whatever. And if you fail, you fail.
Right.
But you did it on your own terms.
What I hate
Okay.
is when you mess up and somebody's telling you to correct it with no freaking direction.
Right.
I
Do better.
apparently screwed up the first time, probably because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So what is you jumping down my throat
Right.
saying, don't do this again, you need to fix it? How the hell is that going to fix
Right.
anything?
Well,
Pet peeve.
That's completely valid, and you know how I am, like pushing people's buttons and
Uh-huh.
shit. So I can't claim this because I didn't come up with this, but at band camp,
At that one time.
knows a lot of times. So we would always branch off into like trumpets and saxophones and drummers.
Of course you would.
Yeah. And we had the picnic table in the woods, and it was a good time. But so I was on the drum line, and we hear the trumpets because they would always be like kind of close to us or whatever. And this was my freshman year, so I'm a nobody, right? And we hear the seniors on the trumpet line or whatever the fuck you call them, just yelling, "Do better, just do better, do better." And it was like a thing that they did. Like,
Right.
they weren't being assholes. They would like help them, obviously, and stuff like that. But that was their phrase. They said, "Do better."
Okay.
And I just always adopted it just because I love it. And it does nothing. It offers nothing.
Nothing.
But they were doing it just as kind of a fun thing they did. And then they would work with everybody and they would help them do better.
Right.
But when somebody like fucks up, I'm just like, dude, just do better. And like, it's just so funny to me because it does nothing.
Nothing.
I'm offering nothing.
No assistance.
And it's just, but I say it in a fun way, in
Right.
a laughing way. But yeah, it's just one of my favorite things. Do better.
Yeah. Well, I see where you're coming from. But don't get all fucking butthurt that something didn't happen the way you wanted to, and then you just tell me to do better.
Do better.
Pretty much.
It's such a good phrase. They
is.
actually had shirts made.
Oh, I
and stuff,
bet.
and it was like a megaphone type thing, and out of the megaphone it said
saying,
"Do
"Do better."
better." Yeah,
That's awesome.
I loved it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I just think it's super important, man. Like we, as a society, everybody goes through it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I go through it too, but we dwell on the opinions of others, on the judgments of others, and things like that.
Mhm.
And I'm not about that life. Like,
Hell no.
I don't give a shit. And like, I even told, you can ask my parents, or it was my mom at the time, but like, I was probably 19, and I told them like, and the people that have been listening to this probably have heard me say this before, but I told her, I said, it's no disrespect, but I don't give a shit about your opinions. Like, it's not me disrespecting you. Like, I love you and things like that. Like, you're great. I love my parents. At the same time, you are not going to influence me for shit.
Right. Yeah. I got to make my own choice.
Yeah, I'm going to make my choice. If you don't like it, cool. If you like it, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
I'm all about that. And I think it's good that we're both like that because then our kids are going to be like that too.
Right.
Like, it's good to give them that.
It's freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
I was about to say independence.
I mean, independent. Well, you had
I
I was about to agree with you.
independence, but independency, I don't know where that was coming from.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a word.
It's definitely not.
Okay. Well, yeah, so you're stupid.
It gives them their independence.
Yes.
See.
But yeah, it's a C grade independence.
Yes.
No, but I think it's super important, man. Like, and I don't know if anybody's gonna hear this and actually kind of take it to heart or whatever, but I just think it's important to remind people to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Anybody that truly loves you and cares about you will be behind you 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they don't agree with it, they will still be there to support you.
Yeah. And we talked about that one episode. I think it was my first one as the actual, like, not as a guest.
Right.
But, you know, having the support from other people, no matter what you do. If you mess up and you do something that they may not have told you to do, you're going to be like, hey, you suck. You fell.
Right.
Get back up.
Right.
Come on.
Let's go.
I got you.
And some people might help you up, and you might need that.
Yeah.
You might need somebody to help pick you up, and that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, I just encourage people to, you know, think for yourself.
Yeah.
Act for yourself. Obviously, like, and I keep saying this, but I've said this before also, like, obviously Harper comes first. Like, you know, my daughter comes first in everything. But, so say Harper is like 1.0, I'm like 1.02. Like, I'm as equally important as my daughter in my decisions, right?
Okay.
Like, she has the lead, and I'm not going to do anything stupid that would jeopardize her or our relationship or me seeing her or, you know, whatever
Right.
it is. But at the same time, like, I might have to make tough decisions
For her
and for myself. Because if I'm not happy, she's going to eventually pick up on that.
Yep.
She's only 2 right now. She might not see it now, but eventually, like, you know, she's going to pick up on it. And it's super important, man. Like, you know, everybody, this is kind of more of an old school thing now, but people are like, and it's actually a Blink-182 song, so shout out to them.
Love Blink-182.
But Stay Together for the Kids.
Yep.
I think that's the dumbest shit ever.
It is.
It's a great idea in theory.
It is. I mean, I think it's all about how you look at it.
Okay.
Stay with it for the kids.
Right.
Right. I think you still want to have a relationship
Mm-hmm.
and be able to get along
For sure.
with the other person.
Right.
But I think that whole let's try to make it work, let's try to live under one roof, that's complete bullshit. Like, I've
Right.
been in that predicament before.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It's not. And all it's doing is making the situation worse, making,
Tension. There's
so
a
much.
lot of tension.
And the kids see that. The kids
Right.
read off of that. They
Right.
can easily get that energy from you. And nah, man, that's definitely not the right thing to do.
Right. It's not the right thing. And, everybody's different. I'm not saying go break up with your fucking
Right.
or
yeah.
like whatever. But
I mean, shit can work out. Trust me, it can.
I'm not saying, don't get into arguments and all that, but like at the same time, when you know it's over, like dip.
Yes.
It's done.
Just
Like-
drop the shit.
And again, I get fighting for it and doing your best to stay in it, for the kids. That is a very valid
Yeah.
argument. But at a certain point, like, it's over.
I'm no couple therapist or anything, but I know it's worked for me. But like when you take that break and you actually take the break to reflect on shit
Mm-hmm.
and
And
You
not
know-
go sleep with people.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. But if you take that time and, that's exactly what I did. I had to sit back and reflect. And, I think I was placing the blame on her.
Mm-hmm.
But when really you take a step back and look back at the shit, you see that you were messing up too.
Right. Oh, for sure.
And until you take that time, you're never going to be able to be like, oh, well,
Right.
I was screwing up too. What can I do to fix
Right.
that? Was that impacting it? And it's just like a whole
Well,
shit.
and my situation is similar, but like I realized that while we were still together.
Mm-hmm.
So like we would get into arguments, and eventually towards the end, it gets kind of ugly, right?
Yeah.
Well, you do this, and all that stuff.
The blame game.
Right. So, without getting too personal, but it was like, I don't like that you've done this, like you don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And then she would come back, well, you don't do this.
Yeah, it gets
And
nowhere.
And I said, I agree. But, like, I'm not doing that, and you're not doing this. So what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Like, that was kind of like my argument. Like, yes, I'm being a piece of shit also. I get that, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
So why are you with me? Like, and
There's
saying,
two sides to this.
and I think I was playing both sides on, like, for myself.
Yeah.
Like, it was a weird situation, but, like, I'm aware enough to know that in certain situations I can be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. But you can admit it.
Right. Well, I mean, you said yeah a little too quick,
Well,
but
you are a piece of shit.
but yeah, it's just like you have to be aware of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be aware of your own happiness, and your happiness should come first.
Yeah.
Aside from like maybe kids or something. But that's what I'm saying. Harper is 1.0 and I'm not 1.1. I'm 1.02.
Yeah.
Like I'm right to fuck there. Because
Yeah.
my happiness is almost as important as hers.
And people can take that the wrong way too, especially if you're in a relationship.
Right.
So if you're in a relationship and you say, my happiness comes first, it's not saying that yours doesn't. This is almost like the whole damn Black Lives Matter thing.
Okay. All right. I'm here for it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I say Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
doesn't mean that all other lives don't matter.
Right.
But when I say that my happiness comes first, in order for everybody else around me to be happy,
Right.
I got to be happy.
Right.
And if I'm not, why the hell should anybody else be happy?
And that's the argument for like the all lives matter. Like blah, blah, blah. Like, well, they always say like, well, if all lives matter, why are you saying Black Lives Matter? It's
Yeah.
like, because Black lives clearly don't matter to you guys.
Yeah, because all the shit going on.
Right.
Like, come on.
If you feel that way, then we wouldn't be experiencing all this.
Yeah.
But your all lives matter seems to exclude Black lives.
yeah.
Like
all of them but.
right.
Black.
Which it can't be all at that point. So
Yeah. It's
that's
crazy.
a whole separate tangent. I'm
Yes.
still pissed about it. I'm still salty. I will say, I scroll through my Facebook and in my head I say, you're a fucking idiot. Probably 40 times a day.
Hey, at least you're not commenting it. Almost.
And I only comment it like 3 times a day. But sometimes like I can't hold back.
It's true. It's
And
true.
if we're doing 3 out of 40, that's what, like 8% or
Yeah,
some
if
shit.
that,
I don't
yeah.
know. 7%, something like that. So like I'm good.
Yeah, you got that.
93% of the time I'm all right. You know, but yeah, it pisses me off too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna get me on a tangent. I don't want to go down.
Oh, yeah, we won't go down that road. We won't.
But yeah, man, happiness is super important. I think, and me and Steve did an episode on it before. Is happiness a choice? And we both agreed at the end of the episode that happiness is a choice.
Hell yeah, it is.
And it's a choice based on you letting things go.
Mm-hmm.
You letting the opinions of other people go, the judgments of other people's go, your failures of or your failures yourself.
Yeah.
You let that go.
Yeah, you can't hold on to shit.
Yeah,
you can't.
You need to hold on to the information, but don't hold on to the emotion.
Yeah, that'll get you.
I think that's a pretty cool fucking sentence, right?
That
there.
is a pretty cool sentence. But you're right. I mean, and I think that's why it's super important to vent and shit too. Get it off your chest.
Absolutely.
That's probably my favorite thing. There's been times where I've called another supervisor like, "Hey, dude, come over here real quick," and just vent it off.
Right.
Just because I don't want to take it out on somebody else.
Right.
But if I know you and I know you're cool with me venting it, then
right.
I'm gonna jump down your throat real quick.
Right.
So.
Everybody needs a release every now and then, and there's a fine line between venting and complaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, which that's another fucking tangent, and I'm trying not to go down fucking tangents, but
no, we about to cut. We about to cut.
Yeah. I think that is a good place to
Yes.
stop before things get a little more wild. But yeah, guys, be fucking happy.
Yeah.
Choose to be happy. Obviously, there's mental illnesses that can, make that a little harder than
impact
others.
that.
But do your best to be happy. Do your best to not give a shit about other people's opinions or their judgments or anything like
Yeah.
that.
And if you're happy, man, others around you will be happy. And hey,
Yep.
make a better world.
Right. That's all we can do. But yeah, guys, thank you for checking out episode 58.
Yes. Thank you.
As always, follow us everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter that I don't use, TikTok that I definitely don't use. But basically Facebook and Instagram.
But we on there.
Yep. And then, definitely check out averageafpodcast.com.
Absolutely.
There's a link to the merch store, to the Patreon.
Get the merch.
We actually got new merch that just released, I think, a week ago.
Yep.
It's super dope. I'm about to order some myself. But yeah, definitely check that out. Support the show. Again, shout out to all of our Patreon producers, Brubaker Photography,
Shout out.
all that kind of stuff. Anything you want to add at the end here?
No, man. Just that these freaking bee stings better stop itching.
All right, I like it.
It's been killing me.
Itch away, man. Itch away, sir.
It's horrible.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you for checking out episode 58, and have a good night.
Till next week.
Peace.
Yeah. 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 Quick. Yeah. Yeah.